Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled in the rolling hills of Tuscany, there was a young woman named Isabella. She had long, curly chestnut hair that cascaded down her back in loose waves, and piercing blue eyes that sparkled in the sunlight. Isabella lived a simple life, tending to her family's vineyards and spending lazy afternoons reading under the shade of the olive trees. But despite the beauty that surrounded her, Isabella yearned for something more. One day, while out for a walk in the vineyard, Isabella stumbled upon a handsome stranger. His name was Marco, and he had dark, tousled hair and warm brown eyes that glinted mischievously. They exchanged polite hellos, but there was an undeniable spark between them. From that moment on, Isabella found herself constantly thinking about Marco and the way his eyes seemed to dance whenever he looked at her. As the days passed, Isabella and Marco found excuses to bump into each other around town. They would exchange furtive glances and brief conversations, each feeling the magnetic pull between them growing stronger with each passing moment. Finally, one warm summer evening, Marco asked Isabella to join him for a walk under the stars. She eagerly accepted, her heart racing with excitement. The walk was magical. They strolled along the cobblestone streets, hand in hand, talking about everything and nothing at all. They paused at a small fountain in the town square, where Marco pulled Isabella into his arms and kissed her deeply. It was a kiss unlike any other, filled with passion and longing. From that moment on, Isabella and Marco were inseparable. They spent their days exploring the Tuscan countryside, marveling at the rolling hills and the golden fields of wheat. They dined on hearty Italian cuisine, savoring every bite of pasta and every sip of rich, velvety wine. And at night, they would lie in each other's arms, their bodies entwined, lost in the sweet ecstasy of love. As the months passed, Isabella and Marco's love only grew stronger. They knew that they were meant to be together, no matter what challenges lay ahead. And there were challenges, to be sure. Isabella's family was hesitant about her relationship with Marco, fearing that he would distract her from her duties on the vineyard. And Marco's job as a traveling artist often took him away for weeks or even months at a time. But despite the obstacles they faced, Isabella and Marco never gave up on their love. They wrote each other long, heartfelt letters when they were apart, filled with promises of love and devotion. And whenever Marco returned to Tuscany, they would pick up right where they left off, exploring the countryside and marveling at the beauty of the world around them. One chilly autumn evening, Marco took Isabella on a surprise outing. He led her up to a hill overlooking the vineyard, where a small table had been set up with candles and a sumptuous feast. As they ate and drank, Marco told Isabella how much he loved her and how he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. And then, with a flourish, he produced a small velvet box and opened it to reveal a dazzling diamond ring. Isabella gasped in surprise and delight, tears streaming down her cheeks. She threw her arms around Marco's neck and kissed him deeply, feeling her heart overflowing with joy. And as they gazed into each other's eyes, they knew that they were truly meant to be together, forever and always. Years later, Isabella and Marco stood together on that same hill, watching as the sun set over the vineyard. They had built a beautiful life together, filled with laughter and love. They had faced their share of challenges, but they had never let anything come between them. They had traveled the world, experiencing new cultures and making memories that would last a lifetime. They had started a family, raising their children to appreciate the beauty of life and the importance of love. As they stood together, watching the colors of the sunset fade into darkness, Marco took Isabella's hand and led her to a small patch of wildflowers growing nearby. He got down on one knee and looked up at her with eyes filled with love. "Isabella, my love," I know we have been through so much together. But I cannot imagine a single day without you by my side. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife once again, and renewing our vows?" Isabella's heart swelled with emotion as she looked down at the man she had loved for so many years. Without hesitation, she said yes, tears streaming down her cheeks as she threw her arms around him. And so, they renewed their vows under the stars that night, surrounded by the beauty of the Tuscan countryside. They promised to love and cherish each other, to support each other through life's ups and downs, and to never let anything come between them. And as they sealed their vows with a kiss, they knew that their love was stronger than anything the world could throw at them. Years turned into decades, and Isabella and Marco grew old together, their love never faltering. They would often sit outside, under the shade of the olive trees, watching the sun set over the vineyard. And as they held hands and reminisced about their life together, they knew that they had been blessed with a love that was truly meant to last forever.